block and watch them niggas drown in it. 100 round drum, gun a nigga down with. I'm on that slaughter gang shit. Murder gang shit. Slaughter gang shit. Murder gang shit. I'm on that slaughter gang shit. Murder gang shit. Slaughter gang shit. Murder gang shit.
What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today what I have for you guys is a brief little discussion in regards to World War II's new updates, the community, and even some leaks in regards to Black Ops 4. So in the background, I threw in some 100+ kill games on the free DLC remaster known as Shipment, but as you can probably tell, the gameplay was taken from my share button on the PS4. Unfortunately, I didn't have my equipment plugged in when I got these gameplays, so I had to resort to using the share button, which of course records in 720p, but the quality isn't too bad. Now, in terms of World War II, I just wanted to bring up this idea that World War II is a completely different game now. From when it released back in November to the state of the game now, it's just a completely different experience. The Division overhaul, which I'll leave down below in the description if you want to read up on exactly which divisions were affected, just completely changed the way we play multiplayer. But I think it's quite clear that under new leadership, Sledgehammer Games is really focusing on the fans, and Aaron Halett himself, aka the new lead of Sledgehammer Games, has said, I'm committed to staying focused on our fans. And I think with that, we've seen a new community event known as the Blitzkrieg event. We've had a lot of balancing fixes with a lot of the weapons, some of the maps, the spawns, the perks. Everything that you can imagine in multiplayer has now been essentially fixed thanks to the new head of Sledgehammer Games. And I do believe that with Michael Cornbread, as they call him, and even Glenn Schofield, I don't think they would have ever changed the game in this fashion. They, for one, thought that ground war wasn't going to fit with World War II, and what do we have now? We're almost in May, and we have ground war in World War II multiplayer, something that should have been in the game at launch, but unfortunately, under poor leadership, it was assumed that it just wouldn't work. But from what I've played, it works actually very well, and I'm glad that we have that for people who are interested in playing ground war. We have permanent modes now, like prop hunt and gun game, and we have a bunch of other new modes as well, which have been introduced over the past couple of weeks thanks to our new community events. We've had plenty of new weapons that have come out, along with different types of supply drops and bribes, and I do think that the way they introduced weapon charms was really interesting. Let me know what you think of that down below in the comments. But something I've been saying since launch is that what I liked is how it's pretty easy to get new DLC weapons through completing challenges, grinding. There's an easy way to earn armory credits now, and I just think it's just honestly nearly free when it comes to getting new DLC weapons. Unless you're really impatient and you want to buy supply drops to boost your luck, or you want to buy triple plays and bundles to see if you can get them, then yeah, go right ahead. But they've made it very simple and very easy to unlock new weapons that come out, and I think it's cool the way that the variant system, I think zombies has been really well updated over the past couple of weeks with the new zombies orders and so forth. Just the game in general has been improved in such a massive way, and I just can't thank Aaron Halett enough. And one thing I wanted to bring up was how much better Sledgehammer's next Call of Duty is probably going to be thanks to this new leadership change. And I do believe that since they are sticking to listening to the fans and bringing us what we want, then they're going to continue doing that with their next Call of Duty, which just excites me very much when thinking of Call of Duty 2020. Now, in terms of the leaks that I was talking about in the title to this video, a Reddit user known as Lacking a Good Name has found new information in regards to 13 new DLC weapons, the location of DLC 3's war map, and even a face paint feature, which is probably all going to be released throughout maybe the next community event and even closer to the launch of DLC 3. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can read up on all the leaked supposed DLC weapons. They all sound pretty interesting, but it's pretty hard to actually make of what the weapons are in terms of assault rifles, SMGs, launchers, you name it. But what was also leaked was a Commando division. So the last time we saw a new division in multiplayer was with the launch of DLC 1, when we saw the Resistance division, which to me is pretty cool, has its pros and cons. mods thanks to the new Division overhaul. But this Commando Division apparently has some pretty cool specialist basic trainings. We have 3 tiers of basic trainings awarded after the required amount of kills, and we also have an increased explosive damage / resistance per crouch, and also a prone kill, which sounds interesting. And it also has increased sprint speed per hipfire kill, along with a decreased recoil feature per headshot kill. So they'll probably tweak some of these features and mechanics closer to the launch of this Commando Division, but it is cool that Sledgehammer is thinking of ways to introduce new divisions, more weapons, free DLC maps like Shipment. I think that was a good idea since we didn't see a remastered map in DLC 2. Like a lot of people complained that within DLC 1 we only had 3 new multiplayer maps and a new war map, but essentially 2 new multiplayer maps because one of those new multiplayer maps was a remake of Resistance from Modern Warfare 3. So I think releasing a free remastered map every now and then doesn't hurt the game at all. It just brings the community closer together, and making it a permanent playlist is also very fun when completing some cool orders. And I think with releasing 3 actual new multiplayer maps per DLC really just excites the community because it shows Sledgehammer's true potential when coming up with new and creative content for the game itself. But in terms of DLC 3's war map, it's been revealed that it will take place in North Africa. So you're going to have to capture a flag, hold down a hard point, and destroy an objective. So I'll be uploading more gameplay of the new war map in the next couple of weeks because we got to see some aerial assault gameplay within DLC 2's war map. You know, actually flying a fighter pilot, as we saw within the campaign, was just really cool and a neat experience for the multiplayer community to enjoy. And in regards to all of the recent leaks for Black Ops 4, all I'm going to say is take all of it with a grain of salt, whether you believe Matthew Harris on Twitter or not, whether you believe Charlie Intel, whether you believe Polygon, Kotaku, and all those other gaming news websites, because I do believe that a lot of the leaks are outdated. Most of those leaks were becoming factual towards a certain number of individuals back in late January, early February. There's no way in hell Activision would force Treyarch to scrap an entire campaign and about almost 2 years worth of work so close to the community event / reveal for Black Ops 4, let alone the launch of Black Ops 4 as well. There's a difference between scrapping a campaign in late January versus scrapping it 2 to 3 weeks before the reveal of the game. Now, in terms of forget what you know and what that means, that either is referring to forget what we know about Call of Duty's usual cycle or usual launch of a game featuring campaign, multiplayer, and zombies, or it's actually referencing that there will be a story element in the game, either if it's in multiplayer or a bonus third game mode in the game, where it kind of goes back to the events of Black Ops 2 and going into Black Ops 3. We just don't know, but we will find out in May when the game gets revealed. But with the rumors stating that Raven Software is working on a Battle Royale mode for the game, I'm not against the idea. I just consider Battle Royale a fad, which is probably going to be dead in the next 6 months or so, maybe even sooner. And I'm not hating on people who play Fortnite or choose to upload Fortnite on their YouTube channel versus what they're usually used to uploading. I'm just saying, I don't see Battle Royale as a mode that's going to keep going on for years and years and years, as Activision probably hopes that it would. I think Fortnite got really lucky. The community got really invested in something so different from what they were all playing, and they got addicted to it, but nothing lasts forever. So I don't think Activision should look at Battle Royale as the future of Call of Duty. And with rumors stating that you're gonna have to essentially have that current Call of Duty of the year to continue playing the Battle Royale mode, which is a separate download, just sounds a little bit fishy to me, and they're gonna have to really explain that when it comes to announcing whatever it is they're working on. But I am in the belief that a lot of these leaks that they're getting are all outdated, and things change, agendas changed, and a lot of the things may have been true at one point but are no longer true. Now, in terms of David Vonderhaar, his tweets are very interesting because while they are pretty cryptic, he did delete them, and a lot of people on Reddit have essentially went deep into these tweets and have sort of come to an understanding of what he was actually referring to when it comes to talking about how some of his pitches didn't go well and how he has to change some of his fundamental ideas with creating Call of Duty games. And I think all that means is some of the leaks we've been seeing about multiplayer and Black Ops 4 being close to Overwatch, we're referring to maybe Vonderhaar or somebody at Treyarch's new vision of what multiplayer could be, and Activision said, fuck no, we don't want that, we need traditional Call of Duty gameplay like Black Ops 1 and 2, so they went ahead and reversed some of those new mechanics they were working on and made it closer to the Call of Duty we all know and love. But a lot of those changes aren't happening right now. That would be ridiculous. A lot of those changes happened months ago, which means they're still on track with developing Black Ops 4 and essentially being ahead of development so they can start working on their upcoming DLC season. Now, one more thing I wanted to bring up was how Call of Duty used to be developed. So 2010, Treyarch of course released Black Ops 1. They had to release an entire DLC season on top of developing Black Ops 2, which released in 2012. So when you think about it, they used to be on a tight-ass schedule, and they made themselves go on an even tighter schedule with Black Ops 3 as they worked on DLC 5 alongside their core DLC season. So I'm pretty sure Treyarch is used to tight schedules at this point, and they have a pretty clear vision of zombies according to these leaks. It's just multiplayer, it's a little fishy right now, but they're still polishing. So they're still on track as if they were developing a game under a 2-year development cycle. It's not like they're behind in any way, shape, or form. They just might not have that full 3 years worth of work put into Black Ops 4 due to a scrap campaign. But it doesn't mean the game's gonna be bad in any way. It doesn't mean that a lot of these leaks are referring to a horrible community reveal when it comes out in May, and I just have full hopes in Treyarch right now because they know what they're doing. I don't think the game is going to be shit, and I just hope you guys take all those leaks with a grain of salt until we see that reveal in May. But yes, whether those sources are credible or not, but that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, and stay tuned in for more DLC coverage for the War Machine, aka DLC 2, here within World War II. Peace out, YouTube.
Enemy capturing Charlie. We got lightning blue. Capturing Bacon. Fighter pilot inbound. Scraping the car. Charlie is overrun. Counterattack. They're capturing Bacon. We're losing. Paratroopers descending. Taking Charlie. Over there. Securing aim. Charlie! Great work. They are in full retreat.